better introduce myself, hadn't I? So, yes, my name's Ian, and the reason I'm here, because there is a reason, I'm not lost, is I'm a writer as well. I write a children's TV show called Chucklevision, like you just heard. Put your hands up if you've heard of Chucklevision. Yeah. Put your hands down if you've heard of Chucklevision. Paul and Barry Chuckle. It's not their real surname. Can you imagine your first day at school and your surname's Chuckle? So you are the father of these two delightful young children. Could you begin by telling me their surname? Well, if you say so. Of course it's not Chuckle. That'd be mad, that'd be daft, that'd be balmy. The real name's Giggle. Anyway, it goes all over the world, Chucklevision, so I write that, and I do comedy as well, that's what I'm doing now. And so, I've said that in case there's any dispute at the end. And I write stories, and I like writing stories and using my imagination. But to talk about stories, we've got to go way back in time. Years and years. What day is it today? First. Imagine the first, about 50,000 years ago. And caveman is coming home after a very busy day, doing whatever cavemen do, I don't know. And he's got to tell a story. But he can't write it. He's got to write caveman. He can't use a keyboard. He can't text. Can you imagine caveman texting? Send. He's got to tell the story. Hello, dear, I'm home. Oh, hello, dear. Have you had a nice day at work today? I've had a lovely day at work today, thank you. I've discovered something. Oh, that's lovely, dear. It's not another wheel, is it? No. No, I was sitting on my rock during my lunch hour, and I was rubbing two sticks together. Rub, 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 rub. And I was singing my favourite song. I remember when rock was young. When suddenly, whoosh! Whoosh, dear, yes, whoosh. And I was surrounded by this strange black smog, and dancing on the floor were little fingers of hot heat. Like that, dear? Yes, I know. Well, that's lovely, dear. What are you going to call it? Water. You see, caveman had to tell these stories, and the stories got passed down year after year after year. And they've come down to us today as what we know as nursery rhymes, folk tales, and fairy tales. Yes, it's once upon a time. Why do stories always begin once upon a time? Once upon a time. So boring. Once upon a time, Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. You never hear twice upon a time, do you? Twice upon a time, Jack and Jill went up a hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown and said, I'm sure this happened yesterday. And you never hear thrice upon a time. Thrice upon a time, Jack and Jill went up a hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill said, will you stop doing that? And the other thing is, they have this strange language in nursery rhymes. They do, don't they? Dickory dickory duck. Something like that. Ding dong dell. Rub a dub dub. I don't know what a dub dub is, and I don't know how to rub it. You ever heard of a dub dub? What are you doing? Rubbing the dub dub. And there's so many of them as well. You don't know where to begin with all these nursery rhymes. There's Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You know Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Yeah, but little baby bears saying, Mummy, Mummy, somebody's been sitting in my porridge. No, wait a minute. Somebody's been sitting in my... I noticed that too. Somebody's been sitting on my chair. Absolutely. Somebody's been lying in my bed and messed it all up. Somebody's been eating my porridge and eating it all up. And Daddy Bear comes in and says, never mind that, somebody's stolen my iPod. And then there's Puss in Boots, about the cat in the chemist. And then there's Cinderella. Cinderella. Now, I don't know much about health and safety, but glass slippers? Slippers made of glass? Father, I've just been invited to the royal ball.
Well, that's lovely there, but your hair needs cutting.
Very well, Father.
And go and take off some of that makeup.
Very well, Father.
And go change that dress.
Very well, Father. Oh, and Father?
Yes?
Can I wear my slippers made entirely of glass?
Of course you can, dear.
Mad, isn't it?
So what I try to do when I write my stories is I like to play around with them, these nursery rhymes, reinvent them, completely change them, make them something completely surprising. Episode 1 of RSI, Rhyme Squad Investigations. Humpty Dumpty, was he pushed or did he fall?
My name is Lieutenant Detective Jack Horner of the Once Upon a Time Town Special Investigations Unit, the Rhyme Squad. Every 60 seconds in this land, a rhyme is committed. Sometimes it's a haiku, sometimes it's a limerick, sometimes an entire sonnet is pulled off. But it's my job to see it doesn't happen. I was driving my car down Ding Dong Bell the other day, thinking of some of the rhymes that I solved in the past few months. Little Miss Muffet, mugged by a spider. Tom, Tom, the piper's son, evaded capture and away he did run. Wee Willie Winky, usual crime. When I got back to my office, a beautiful young lady was waiting for me.
I want my sheep.
That's your name, ma'am.
Peep.
First name?
Bo.
Could you describe your sheep, ma'am?
Yeah. It sleeps but as wide as
Snow, ma'am?
yeah.
We got a lot of lost sheep around here. Suddenly, the phone rang.
Oh, a rhyme had been committed.
An IC1 male Caucasian, 850 pounds, by the name of H. Dumpty, had fallen from a wall. It was my job to find out the name of his pusher. I jumped in my car and I drove downtown. When I arrived there was egg everywhere. There was egg on the floor, there was egg at the wall. It was a complete egg bath. Move away from the eggshell. Move away from the eggshell. Nothing to see here. At one corner of the crowd was an old informant of mine. His name was Baba. He was the black sheep of the family. Hey, Baba, you got any wool on you?
I don't do wool anymore, Mr. Horner.
Do you know anything about this rhyme?
Information like that'll cost you, Mr. Horner.
How much?
Half a pound of Dumpty rice, half a pound of tree bacon.
I paid it.
This isn't Humpty Dumpty splattered on the floor, Mr. Horner.
What do you mean?
I saw it all with my own eyes. Last night, Humpty Dumpty stole eggs from Goosey Goosey Gander and the Ugly Duckling, and he splattered them on the floor himself.
Why would he do that?
For the insurance, Mr. Horner.
All he has to do now is turn up dressed as a relative, claim the money, he'll be living happily ever after.
At that point, there was a noise at the back of the crowd. A big guy was elbowing his way forward. 850 pounds, IC1 male Caucasian, but with a complete head of hair.
Oh, my poor brother Humpty. Look at you, you're splattered on the floor, you're splattered up the wall. My poor brother Humpty.
Who are you?
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
I am Humpty's brother.
What's your name?
My name?
Yes, your name.
My name is Flumpty. Dumpty.
It suddenly all became clear. I grabbed his hair, it came away in my hand. He was completely bald. You are Humpty Dumpty, this is an insurance scam. I'll see you get 6 months hard labor with the Grand Old Duke of York. They'll march you to the top of the hill. And they'll march you back down again. 6 months, I'll be past myself by day. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Take it away, boys. When I got back to my office, I started to write up my report. Lieutenant Jack Horner sat in a corner, eating an apple pie. I stuck in my thumb and pulled out a plum and thought, I'm a great private eye.